Steve, what is a little piece of equipment like this worth?
This is going to cost about $4.5 million. It's fun.
Really?
Yeah, to develop. Yeah, there's no power to it there.
Here, yeah.
Oh, we'll be flying this thing tomorrow.
Yep. So this is set up. This is just like the. Here, yeah, go ahead and sit down. Oh.
It's easier to get in this than a real airplane.
Is it really?
Oh, the airplane's even a little smaller. If you can believe it. Go ahead and sit down.
Yeah. I did it.
The app for that.
I'm not getting any light.
You have to.
I gotta go on video.
Yeah, and then you have to turn on the light too.
You turn it on. Actually, you're using the light in the camera.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
what I was trying to do. There's your oxy. Phone mic. Now in here, I got a question for you. Why, whenever you hear a guy in a jet plane on the radio, do you hear this background noise of, you know what I'm talking about?
Because he's probably using a boom mic,
right?
And it's just the noise that's in the cockpit.
Really? So when you, what's the pounds of thrust that this thing will have?
1900.
1900 aside.
Oh, a side. So 3,800 pounds. So will it really, you know?
Yeah, well, it weighs about 10,000 pounds, and you've got 4,000 pounds of thrust. So it's a pretty good thrust to weight ratio.
Trim wheel for your
A military
rudder.
the military jet I flew, it got almost 1-to-1.
Oh yeah. What was it on the A4?
Yeah, the last model of the
yours?
A4. Yeah, go for it.
Boeing?
Of course. The last model of the A4 we flew, it was.
It had that much snap,
Super
huh?
Fox. It was 11,000 pounds of thrust, and the airplane weighed 12.
I remember when I did a talk in one of my college classes on the F-15, and that Pratt & Whitney F-100 turbofans greater than 1-to-1 takeoff ratio, and I was demonstrating for the class how we could climb unlimited vertically through, I think, 40,000 feet, if my memory serves me, and that just had to be a rush. So you were right there at 1-to-1.
Yeah, we just couldn't keep it up as long as they could.
Yeah, right. Well, it's just, you know, that was
We'd
a
run out
newer.
of oomph.
Wow.
But we could do back-to-back emblems.
You think you could drive this bad boy? Sure you could.
Oh yeah, it's probably simpler than the Cirrus.
Yeah. Now, how do you make the throttles move? Or you got to do that?
Oh, they're in cutoff because the engines are shut off. But there you go. Now they're in.
Okay, so now they're just free.
Yep.
And then how do you go to beta or reverse thrust? With
There
the
is
beta?
no reverse on that.
Oh, they don't have shells or anything? You can't?
No, this has a thing called attenuators, which are just little flappers that come out behind the engines.
Oh, and just kind of act like a shield?
Yeah, they act like a little thrust reverser. They're much simpler.
They're much safer.
Yeah? Because they won't open on you.
Because they won't open in
right.
flight.
Yeah. That's just like in the Cirrus 430s, twin 430s.
And then your transponder.
Transponder.
Yeah, oh yeah, you'd be right at home there.
That's exactly.
Now the other system that they uses is this. This is the universal.
Yeah, that I don't understand.
UNS 1K.
It's not. It's actually pretty simple.
It's a little more button driven than menu driven, like the Garmin.
The new Garmin Perspective.
Yeah, it
has
has
that.
touch screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garmin's made some great products too. The 1000, the 3000 is going to be in the new M2, which is going to be the CJ1 replacement.
Yeah, I looked at the specs on that. I have to go to the CJ2 work.
Yeah, you don't have, doesn't have the range.
What's cabin
The
dump?
range don't have the altitude.
Yeah.
It's 41,000 foot.
Yeah,
service
it's just a
there.
replacement for this.
See that?
Right.
That's obviously
But
some
it's
sort
bigger
of.
cabin.
Kind of an emergency thing.
What's the cabin dump do?
That would release all the cabin pressurization,
Oh, really?
and if you still had a source of air, such as bleed air,
Okay.
then the cabin would stop at 13,000 feet. If not, it'll come right up to wherever your altitude is.
Okay, so in this plane, if you're at 30,000 feet and you had let's talk about the golfer, Payne Stewart, when they were in that Lear 35 or whatever
Yes.
it was, and they had that rapid decompression,
Apparently.
and the windows were all fogged over. Remember that?
Yep, yep.
So, could it have killed the driver that fast?
No, I think they probably suffered from oxygen deprivation, and the supply was not turned on so that they could have oxygen in the airplane.
Yeah, I mean, because it just didn't make sense. The thing was flying along.
It was an autopilot all hooked up.
Yeah, and a rapid decompression, as they say, the only way it could have fogged over. But one theory is that it literally sucked the air out of the lungs of the people in the plane.
But they probably had time to try to put on some oxygen masks.
Yeah.
But there was no oxygen
Flowing.
supply available.
Jeez.
You know, it could have had multiple problems too.
True, yes, it could.
Yeah, you don't know, right? So what do you do in this if you get decompression? Dive for 10,000?
Yep.
And what's your
breaks out
okay? So power back, speed breaks out. Dive for 10,000. What's your maximum speed?
about 262.
262.
Yeah, about 15 degrees to 25 degrees.
Nose down. Yeah. And then she'll speed up to 262 indicated.
Mm-hmm.
And then you won't rip anything apart.
If you don't go faster than that.
Yeah, and then you just come back slowly when you
You're
get
not going
there.
through a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're not in one of those anyhow. Yeah, this is cool. It's tight.
Yeah. So this is more room than the real one, huh?
Not,
Is that, or you said it's
I don't
easier to
know.
get in now,
I think
huh?
he's talking about there's just a little bit more room
In the
this-
back
Right.
area
Right
to-
between here.
Right.
What's this little railing for? Like a curtain?
That's the sun visor.
Rose and sun visor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And for the instructor to hit their head.
George, this got to be cool as hell, man, when this is all lit up and you're seeing everything out.
It's very realistic.
And it's real terrain. I mean, so you're coming out of Palomar and all that, or
Yep.
wherever you want, probably.
Actually, we use we have 5 or 6 cities where we have enhanced resolution.
What do you want, the mask?
Yeah, I just want to see how easy that is to really
It's
get
hard
to.
to get to.
It is. Is the real one that low?
Usually the real one is turned because there's actually a bulkhead
Uh-huh.
right here. So this is turned this
Where
direction,
you can grab it.
so it's a little easier to get.
'cause big old boy like George, it's going to be tough to turn around and get that.
Yeah, that was one of the comments the FAA made on us on our last
You
inspection.
definitely don't have enough time to get that one on your head.
Yeah,
in
you
a
already
rapid
heard.
decompression at 41,000
No.
feet.
So that's what this will do, 41,000 ceiling?
Yes.
Do you really do that with this? Or do you normally cruise in the 30s?
It's a mid-30s airplane.
Yeah.
For
Real world. You
Real
know,
world.
this turbocharged
This will-
Cirrus, everybody talks about, oh, do 25,000. Every single flight-aware flight you track of any Cirrus is running around 8 to 11,000 feet. You don't need that turbocharging.
well, and
It's good out of a hot, elevated
is it
field in the sun.
pressurized?
No.
Well, how are you going to get? I'm not going to put my body up at 25,000 feet.
That's what they say. You
A
can
lot
get
of
a whole
people
lot
do.
of...
They go up there, and then these turbo, they put oxygen on, and they go up to 25.
But-
You start
Not
coming apart.
pressurized?
Your body starts to blow up.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
So nobody does that, but they market it as a value. The normally aspirated one is exactly the same as the turbo one.
Yeah, you have to watch whatever an aircraft salesman says.
Right. Boat
That's
salesman.
for sure.
This is cool.
He's selling a high dollar
Yeah, and you know,
convenience toy.
right. And they're all trying to get you to get that accelerated depreciation right now,
Yeah.
before it goes away.
Right, that is true right now.
That's the pitch. Wow, this is slick. This would be fun to get a hold of, Owen. So what's the cruise at? 300 and change?
About 360 true, 350 true speed. Indicated will be like 250.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, up high.
Yeah.
So this is what Russ has.
Yes, this is what Russ Westfall has.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're going to Cabo.
With the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing the offshore delivery?
I don't know what they're doing.
Taking all that thing all the way to Cabo?
Yep.
Wow, that's a beats cake.
They're going to live there for 6 months.
On the boat?
Who's taking it? He's driving it down there? So is this where you sit?
This is where, yeah, and we have
It's
a
just
little
touch
map
screen?
up here, and then we have the the controls. It's just a little computer touchscreen.
This is the torture chamber right
Yes,
here.
it
Oh,
is.
you're sweating.
Yeah, you're sweating.
Oh,
yeah.
But you can control everything with touchscreen, is that what that
Yes,
is?
yes.
So I was looking for a keyboard, but there's no keyboard.
There is one, but
Is there?
I've never used
I
it.
see. I thought maybe you sat outside somewhere and...
This
No,
thing print out like every time I do the approaches and
we
my-
can't.
my pro-
We can make a
profile.
hard copy of the profiles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you'll be in there by yourself.
I'll be in there by myself.
Oh, yeah, nobody in the right seat.
Yep, for the single pilot rating, he has to do everything by himself. If he was going to do a crew rating, there'd be somebody over there.
This is nice little LED.
In the bottom back, the CSI type button.
Oh.
You know how they.
Oh, good. Well, then I don't need to bring my own.
Okay, that's.
Right?
Yeah, that's you certainly.
But I do have a little one.
Get a red one, so you can. Oh, this is.
Is this all the computer servers and stuff down in here?
Yep. To make it work.
Yep.
Got an air conditioning unit right there to blow air in.
Into the cockpit, into the cab.
So that's.
We had an air conditioner up there, and it was just too hard to work with, so we just put it downstairs.
Look at those projectors.
Yeah, I know. That's just screens and all.
That is so cool.
The bulbs are like $2,000 a piece.
Yeah. Yep.
So these are electric motors through a gear drive to a lever arm, and that does the main motion.
Are those just shock absorbers, pretty much? Is all those are?
They're pneumatic driven, and they do the little tiny motion.
Okay. So they're really sensitive.
For the turbulence?
Yeah, for the turbulence and the field. So when you just wiggle the controls a little bit, it's actually the air pressure will cause this to.
Look at the air tanks over there.
Yeah.
This thing's got to make
Did you
noise.
guys buy this new?
They had it built. They actually, part of the cost was they had to rent a airplane, strip out the interior, put in all the instrumentation, and collect the flight data on the characteristics of the airplane. And then they modeled that in the computer.
That's pretty intense stuff.
And actually, the ocean doing its thing up there.
Right.
This is going to be cool, man.
Well, I've done it before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've done it with the Citation Bravo many times.
What's this little?
This is a little Seneca sim.
Oh, really? Another one.
This one is not, it's a fixed base, it's not a motion.
But you can shoot approaches on this one.
Oh, look at that. It's still got a full visual.
It's got the 3 visual.
Yeah. So it's a Seneca.
Yeah.
Those things are all over Phoenix. That
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
That's what those are, isn't it? Those are.
Seneca's the one that has the props that are
They started that trend, yeah. Counter rotating.
Is that a good thing?
But
Seminole is what they fly.
yeah, I
Seminole?
think it's a good thing in that it reduces that torquing.
Seneca's bigger than a Seminole,
And
isn't
a
it?
critical engine.
A Seminole's smaller than a Seneca.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's about a seat shorter.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this would have, the normal Seneca would have club facing seating facing each other.
They have Seminoles that transpac.
No, I think those are all. That Seminole's a Transpac, not
Yeah.
Senecas. This is a bigger.
They don't use Senecas because these are turbocharged, and you don't want to use a turbocharged airplane for training because it's just it's
wear it out.
easy. It's too easy to overboost it
Right.
Just wear it out.
and wear it out.
1,900 or 1,800 ponies, whatever it is.
So yeah.
I was thinking about you last Thursday. I thought you were.